SaaS summary. In this module, we formally defined SaaS, which is software as a service. We looked at various SaaS products that are there in the marketplace. We then looked at the SaaS architectural features. Then we looked at a SaaS product that is part of AWS service called the AWS Workspaces that allows you to create a desktop in the cloud. It's a combination of hardware and software. I guess it's virtualization, so it's a software service in the cloud. Then we also did a hands-on demo on how to launch a desktop in the cloud. So let's go ahead and summarize each one of the items. So in summary, in terms of SaaS definition, we learned that SaaS has been around for a long time. It's something new and it's something old, and it has evolved over time. It's something new from the perspective that it has features like social, which has come about only in the last few years. There is also features like mobile clients with which you can access the SaaS service. It's something old from the perspective that it's centralized, it's a hosted model, it's web-based, which has been around for almost 20 years now. So it's something that has come about over a long time. It's the maturing of the software industry. So we have gone from software, which is custom software, to off-the-shelf software, to hosted ASP-like solutions, to now SaaS-based solutions. We also learned that just like the monolithic applications grew up to become SOA-based applications, in the same way, the ASP model grew up to become the SaaS model. In terms of defining SaaS, we said that SaaS is really a model of software delivery. It is the delivery of the software, where the software company or the SaaS company provides the software and of course provides the maintenance, the daily technical operation, and support for the software to their client, which is the subscribers for the SaaS service. In terms of SaaS in the marketplace, we learned that there are many categories of products that are there in the marketplace that offer SaaS services. We looked at learning management software like Blackboard. We looked at CRM software, which are software from Oracle, SAP. We also looked at email, calendar, contact software like Microsoft Office 360 Exchange, Google Email, Zoho Email. We also looked at work documents, again Office 360, Google Docs. We looked at HR software. We looked at supply chain management software, project management software, IDE. We realized that even IDEs can be available online. And we looked at virtual desktop. In fact, in this module, we took a deeper look at the virtual desktop, which is the AWS Workspaces services in detail. In terms of SaaS architectural features, we learned that SaaS applications should be multi-tenant applications. In other words, one single application where multiple users across multiple organizations can log in. It should be configurable and customizable to the extent that whatever is allowed by the product, for example, look and feel, the workflow, new field elements that can be added. So some basic configuration should be there. There is also accelerated feature delivery. Typically, the SaaS provider tries to adopt DevOps and agile models so they can deliver software very quickly. There is also open integration protocol. Because SaaS services are typically in the cloud, you want your traditional systems or in-house systems to have access to the data. And so there's APIs available. And also you can do mashups. You can bring different services together and kind of combine them. There's also collaborative and social functionality. Because many users are logging into a centralized system, you can do collaboration. There's also distribution. The distribution is over the web. There is data escrow. Many SaaS companies also offer a mechanism for you to export your data. There is also SIP, which is SaaS Integration Protocol, that allows different SaaS services to communicate with each other so that there can be a standard SaaS platform. And so the customer interacts with the standard SaaS platform, and all these different SaaS products communicate with each other. In terms of pricing, we learned that it's usually a subscription model pricing. It's a monthly subscription, yearly subscription, or it could be subscription that's on a user basis too. So there are different options that are usually available. In terms of adoption drivers, we learned that the growing web user interface, which is a standardized interface, has been great. That's what I mean by standardized web technology. There's also broadband access, which means you can access internet from anywhere with fairly good speed. There's also standard communication protocols like TCP/IP and standard application protocols such as HTTP, REST, and web services. There's also creation of newer clients like mobile that have come about in the marketplace. All these things are helping in the adoption of SaaS. In terms of adoption challenges, data security and privacy has been a concern. It's also possible that a SaaS provider may not be able to meet the SLA of a specific client. There's also limited customization. There's only so much you can do in terms of customization. There is integration challenges. Maybe the data that's stored in the SaaS is too large to be brought in-house or to be moved over to generate reports. There's also constitutional and data laws. When you have SaaS service, you have no idea where the data is being placed. There might be some laws that tell you that you have to keep the data in a specific country. How do you go about enforcing that? There is also switching of the vendors. If you're going to choose a SaaS vendor and you decide to move to a different vendor, can you actually take the data and move out? In terms of criticism, the criticism comes from Richard Stallman, who basically says that SaaS is based upon proprietary systems. There is no transparency. And so there's a new movement of open SaaS, which is basically SaaS based upon open source software. Then we looked at AWS Workspaces, which is really a SaaS service offering. It's a combination of hardware software offering. It's hardware software from the perspective that we learned that virtualization allows you to represent a machine as a software. So we might as well represent a desktop as a software in the cloud. And that's what AWS Workspaces is all about. It's managed desktop in the cloud. It's simple to use. It supports multiple devices. You can go ahead and use your iPad to access your desktop if you want. It's secure and it's available. Secure because you can encrypt the data in the hard drive that is in the cloud. You can also the terminal emulation that is taking place over the network is basically images that are encrypted. So it's really not real data that's coming over the network that you're actually seeing as part of your desktop client. You can choose the hardware and software you need. There is no upfront investment. Integrate your corporate directory. If your organization has a corporate directory, you can integrate with that corporate directory. In terms of use cases, you can access your desktop from mobile devices. So you can access it from anywhere, from any device. Secure desktops. Your desktops are now secure. If your desktop ever gets lost, in a traditional desktop, if your desktop gets lost or it's destroyed, then all the data is lost. Here, if your client, which is an iPad client, or maybe your laptop or desktop that you're using to access your cloud-based desktop, it's not a problem. If the local desktop gets destroyed or lost, you still have all your data in the cloud. It's great for remote employees. It's great for seasonal workers. It's also great for training institutions, for students. And then you can also use it for developers. You can create a cloud-based desktop for a developer with all the software that they really need and simply launch it. So all the code is still in the server side. So it is secure from the code perspective. In terms of architectural features, there are bundles that are available which give you a combination of hardware and software. There's also supported clients. There are different kinds of clients that are supported. At this point, mobile phones are not supported, but mobile devices like iPads and Android devices are supported, including Zero clients, which are these devices that are dumb terminal-like devices that don't really have any operating system. It uses PCOIP, which is personal computer over IP protocol, in order to display the terminal or the desktop. You can also create your own custom images, just like we were able to create custom images for our Linux machines. In the same way, you can create a custom image from your workspace, and then you can use that custom image to launch other workspaces. There's also doc synchronization that allows you to synchronize your document that is in the cloud desktop into S3. In terms of performance and latency, you can get better performance by getting bigger hardware. There are different levels of computational capacity that you have in terms of your bundle. There are different levels of memory that you have in terms of the bundle, also storage. You should also deploy in a region that is close to you for getting the best latency or reducing the latency. In terms of security, there is built-in authentication. You have to log in with your username and password. There's also auto update available. So whenever the operating system has to get updated, it'll automatically get updated unless you turn it off. There's also malware protection. Some packages come with anti-malware. You can always install your own anti-malware software. There is encrypted communication. What I mean by that is the communication that is happening into your client, into the Workspace's client, is happening over a secure channel. There's also encrypted storage, and there are only limited ports that are open to the cloud-based desktop, and that is primarily for the Workspace client to communicate with the cloud-based desktop. In terms of license cost, the price includes the license of the software, and by the way, the only operating system that is supported right now is Windows operating system. If you want, you can bring in your own license to get a break on the cost of the bundle. But for that, you'll have to work with your Microsoft representative, and you also have to work with the AWS representative. And finally, we also did a hands-on demo on launching an AWS Workspace, which is a SaaS service.